looking at?
I would appreciate if you were nice, but then I don't get to eat kids for Christmas. So please, be a little naughty.
I like Krampus because I think it makes Christmas just a little less wholesome.
My name is Kathy Kelly, and I am the owner and proprietor of the Paranormal Museum in Asbury Park, and I began the Krampus Asbury Park Festival in 2015. Krampus is not new. He's far more ancient than pretty much any mythology that's out there, especially associated with the Yuletide. He is a horned creature. He has talons for hands. He has one human foot and one goat foot. He's covered in fur. In some stories, you'll see him, he might be wearing some kind of human clothes, but in some he's not. You would probably also know him by the big sack full of screaming children. He has a long red tongue, and I think that's to imply that he would eat you. He's terrifying. I mean, when you see him coming, he is terrifying. So I don't know if Krampus is a fan of Kiss, but he certainly seems to lean towards Gene Simmons.
Know that he's like the basically opposite of Santa Claus and is not nice to children. You don't want a visit from him on Christmas Day, that's for sure.
A lot of people think of Krampus as like the Christmas devil, but that's not really true. He's not a bad guy. He's more like a middle management guy, right? So you have St. Nicholas or Santa who takes care of good children and delivers them rewards. Krampus takes care of the naughty children, and he brings punishment to them. I think it's not a bad idea to look at them as good cop, bad cop. About 11 years ago, when a person came into Paranormal when we first opened up, or around the time that we first opened up, and said, hey, you know what would be really a lot of fun to do would be to do something called a Krampuslauf, and which essentially just means the running of the Krampuses. And I thought, wow, that does sound like a ton of fun. And so we did a totally do-it-yourself festival. We had no idea who would show up or how many people would show up, and about 200 people showed up. And we thought, wow, this is fun. And almost immediately, people started saying, hey, I can't wait for next year. And, you know, it's kind of just taken off from there.
We're excited for spooky monsters. That's what we're here at Krampus Fest. It's like Christmas, but spookier.
Krampus Fest is very family friendly. It's not a SantaCon where people go bar hopping from bar to bar, drinking.
Happy Krampus Fest!
It's more of a parade and a festival, and we just love it in our town.
So today we'll actually start with the opening of our Krampus Market. We have vendors who will be here selling their goods.
But none lives up to the sheer awfulness of Gryla.
We have a storytelling walking tour, which is the Monsters of Yule walking tour. And the Monsters of Yule are a pantheon of monsters that come out of Europe and Africa and the Mediterranean and pretty much every place around the Yuletide. And Krampus is just one of them, and he's not the scariest one. And then we have the reading of the naughty list, which is super popular. People have been adding names to the naughty list for about 6 weeks. We go up on the roof and we read every single name on it.
Chris, for always falling asleep during movies.
I'm going to tell Krampus that Dad's on the naughty list.
Don't tell him that.
In the older tradition, Krampus would manage children based on the severity of their misbehavior. So you might get dirt in your shoe, or you might get a switch left by the door for your parents to punish you, or you might get thrown in a sack and taken to the Black Forest and devoured.
Christina, Jeffrey, Tommy Smiles.
They love to be a part of it.
That's a good one.
And when I'm standing up there and I say your name out loud to all the world, for all the world to hear, you're a part of this now. You're a part of the folklore. You're a part of the legend now. And of course we do Krampus caroling.
Ding dong, terror will come by. The Krampus trains are ringing.
You know, so we got to get our songs out there. We have to sing to the big guy.
Run and avoid them. Run from pandemonium.
And then we'll line them up and we will march. I call it the Krampage. We will Krampage down to Kennedy Park, where we have 2 sections set up for people to fill in to watch it. The Krampuses who are competing or who want to terrify the children will then run through the park. They will be given every opportunity to be as scary as they possibly can be. We will allow the kids and the people who show up to watch this, we'll allow them to choose their Krampus for this year. We will crown him or her, and we take pictures.
1, 2, 3, there you go.
As the winning Krampus, my responsibilities is to do what all Krampuses do and spread the good word of Krampus and make sure those naughty kids are watching their steps. Be a nice kid, because if you're naughty, I'm coming for you.
And then we go to the Krampus tree lighting. Everybody else calls it a Christmas tree lighting. I call it a Krampus tree lighting.
3, 2, 1.
Krampus represents the people who are a little bit outside of what the norm is, a little bit on the fringe. And, you know, we're your tribe. If you can create that kind of island of misfit toys for people, you know what I mean? What I love is everybody that comes here, they get it. If they don't get it, they don't come, you know? But if they come here, they get it.